Hooray for Hollywood! Hello there, Stan the Movie Man here, with your WIMZ.com movie review. This week you sent me to see Fright Night at the What Should Stan See Next movie poll at WIMZ.com. Fright Night starring Anton Yelchin, Colin Farrell, Toni Collette, David Tenant, and the unfortunately named Imogen Poots. It is a remake of the 1980s movie of the same name. Charlie, a high school student in Las Vegas, lives in a suburb, one of those, don't know if you've ever been to Vegas, but they have these, just cut out of the desert, all of a sudden these 110 houses pop up, and then it's back to desert. Anyway, he lives in one of these neighborhoods outside of Las Vegas. And he attends high school, and he has a new neighbor named Jerry, played by Colin Farrell. Now, Charlie's former best friend, Ed, played by Christopher Mintz-Plasse, has noticed that there are a number of students in the school where they attend who have gone missing. And Ed and another friend of Charlie's has been investigating and has determined that Jerry, who is now Charlie's neighbor, is actually a vampire. Charlie blows this off, finds it ridiculous, until he sees some things with his own eyes that indicate, Jerry is probably a vampire. His mom's played by Toni Collette, and his girlfriend, Amy, by the aforementioned poorly named Poots. And they approach a Las Vegas magician by the name of Peter Vincent, played by David Tennant, for help. He at first blows them off, but then as the poop begins to hit the fan, he decides he's going to help because he has a very dark, deep secret from his past. The movie, as I said, is a remake of the Fright Night from the 1980s. It is really an old-fashioned vampire movie. If you go back to the Hammer films way back in the 60s and check those out, this movie follows very much the same sort of plot line as the old Hammer movies, the old Hammer vampire movies. And some of them are pretty cheesy, but they still follow a similar storyline. And Fright Night does it very, very well. No vampires in this movie sparkle, which I'm happy to say. But they do burst into flame when exposed to sunlight. And if you stake them in the heart, they die. And that is the appropriate thing for a vampire to do. So I'm glad they at least stayed with the lore of the vampire pretty closely. And actually, they create some new lore as well. I liked the story development. I liked the characters as well. And it's a really good retelling of that famous film from the 80s. It's sort of a cult classic now. And if you watch closely in this film, there is a cameo by one of the original stars of the first Fright Night, and some folks in the audience I was with went, "Oh yeah, look at that!" So it's a nice little touch. I'm giving it 5 guitars. It's a lot of fun. It moves well, and it's not scary, but it's suspenseful. So that's a good thing. Go to WIMZ.com to read my complete review, as well as to vote on the movie I see next time. If you have any questions, send them to me at StanTheMovieMan@att.net. You can also follow me on Twitter at MovieManStan. Till next time, later, Tater.